Gotcha. All right, well, let's kick it off here. Okay, your kickoff was solid because you got behind the ball, but honestly, I'd flip twice.
Hey,
Sure you're
yeah,
not the first
let's
person.
just go ahead and say that that's the reason why kickoff is the other part of what I put in the
Okay.
training session.
Gotcha. Okay. We'll go over that after this for sure. But nice speed on there.
Is there audio in this?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't think so because I have to stream my screen in case I draw it on the screen. So like if I tell you to go,
Okay,
this way
okay.
and pick up the
I just
pads.
didn't know if it was fucked up for me or what.
No, I can't do audio if I'm streaming like my whole screen. It's only application, and then that way you wouldn't be able to see my drawing. So in my opinion, the drawing is a lot more important than being able to hear the audio.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Honestly, the big nitpick here is just front flip. Do like a diagonal flip. You could actually boost through this and pick up this pad here and continue to have your push forward without having to waste all this boost just to drive straight. Like at some point you're already driving supersonic and you actually don't need to keep boosting. As long as you actually get supersonic here, then right now, then as long as you stop boosting like that, you can keep going. But I think you may have been able to save boost by flipping there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. I don't mind this turn, but because you actually turn out this way and you're turning into the ball right here on this angle, kind of more midfield, you're actually aiming inherently at the corner, right? So that's where it gets a little awkward. If you actually turn around and you do like a little wide turn like this, then the ball will be a little bit more in between you and the net. That way, as the ball pushes out, you can actually go like this and take it out this way, right? It's a little easier than you trying to turn around, then go at the ball like literally at the corner like this. So I think if you turn around here, you should actually be like right here.
Yeah.
If anything, because that way, then as the ball drops, you can go for a power shot, you can go for whatever, right? You can bring it around and bring it back mid if you want to. There's so much more you can do that. Whereas now, because you're facing the corner here, you're limited in your options.
Okay.
See, super awkward, and even inherently, I think unconsciously you already knew that because now if you went to hit that, you'd be hitting it into the corner. So nice job bringing it back.
Yeah, I knew it was awkward, so I was like, I'll just take it back, I guess. And then this is kind of where I slowed down.
Okay, I think dribbling at him like this, I think you can actually afford to use more of your space across the field here because now the second you get the ball to the right side or even dribbling down midfield like this, you can't see your opponent whatsoever. So that's why you flick early. You don't know if he's going to challenge or not.
Yeah,
So
that was a bad catch, so it was on my right side.
Right. And I don't mind that necessarily, but I think you should stay in car cam because now at this point, if I go into hard attach, I guess you'd have a better view. You'd be able to see that he's challenging this still if you have car cam on as you flick it, because then you would know that he's going up for it and you don't even need to jump here because that's also a commit. And now you're super awkward. So I think, see the difference now? Because now you turn ball cam on, you can't see him going for the ball. So that's why this is awkward. And now you're sort of screwed up and you have to let him have the ball possession there. There you go. Ooh, nice. Pretty solid. Oh my god, he got a lucky ass hit there. Okay, you actually did pretty solid here. I like the fact that you're braking because then at that point, if you just keep driving back to net, you'll have too much distance and then you give him like all the space to work with to shoot it on net. So you braking right here allows him to bring the ball to you and you close like the distance between you and the play, right? But then the fact that you actually stopped, whereas he's, look at this, see how you're matching the play speed, but now you stop as he's bringing it to you. Had you just kept driving, had you just kept driving forward just a little bit, you would have been able to save that. Nice.
I was like, okay.
Yep. All I'm gonna say about that. Nice. Again, for not flipping twice on kickoff, you've actually been pretty solid. And that went in
It's
too.
the weird part is like my kickoffs. Like I've just learned to try. Like even against higher level players, I've tried to learn to make it the best it can be for like not having a second flip.
Right. Okay.
And
This is where the part where the shooting comes into play. You're actually
mhm.
turning too far to the right here. You should still be aiming straight forward at the ball. And what you can do, my little shitty drawing of an octane here. You should be air rolling slightly down and to the left, or like slightly left, so that way you're aiming with your front right tire, and you should be diagonal flipping forwards through this ball, and you should be hitting it right here. This could actually be a shot on net, and this could actually be a goal without it even hitting the ground.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we'll talk about that, the shooting and stuff like that as well after this.
Yeah, because since you told me that at our last training session, I've been trying to work in more of those air roll shots where I can.
Right.
Like,
That's another spot where you could have done it there, especially for kickoffs. Okay. Notice where you stop it's very subtle, but I would actually prefer it if you were on the goal line here, defending like this from right here, where my camera is, because now
Yeah.
the fact that you actually have this very slight amount of distance between you and the goal, that's actually a place where he can slot the ball, right?
I think you'll see that too later.
Yeah, probably.
I
So
think that's one of my weaknesses right there. Is
if you
like,
rotate and you sit on the goal line, this is a much easier place to save it, because then you're actually guarding more of the net here in the front.
okay.
Whereas now, if he tries to slot it, it's super awkward. You have to get behind the ball or go for a pinch on the wall, something like that, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's very slight. It's only like a couple, like, couple car lengths of distance between here and there, but like, it makes all the
It's
difference in the world now.
yeah, it's definitely enough.
Ooh, nice try on the
Yeah.
boost grab. But all of that could have been prevented had you just gotten a really good clear from right here instead of, instead of sitting here. If you were on the goal line, you could have actually probably cleared this out forwards, and that would have never happened.
Yeah, I
So
feel
it
like that's
all,
my main thing is when these guys get up in the corners and are always just monkeying, like going for those bumps in the demos. Like I start to get. I think you see that farther into the gameplay too. Like I get tilted
yeah,
because like uh like playing into my own corners is like I guess probably my weakness when they're aggressive in my own corners.
sure. Yeah, I can see that. This guy has been able to challenge in your corner like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, he just kept getting bumps on me and like he just kept going back into the corner and pushing it. Bad flick.
Yeah. I don't know what that was. It was like a warp or something like that. Notice how you front flip here. Actually, I would say you had decent enough control to side flip flick this. Look at the ball is on your left side. If you actually flip to the left here, you'll actually might be able to, if you flip to the left, you actually might be able to get a good enough pop like over the guy. And it may not always be on target, like right away, but it might be off the backboard for for him to be able to save it. It might be a little harder, and you might be able to get a rebound. But especially because if you side flip, you're not committing your enough forward momentum now with your car. Whereas now, because you front flip, you actually land like so far ahead of the play that there's no way you can do anything with it. If you side
Yeah.
flip, you might be able to get that shot off, then follow it again. Even worst case scenario, if you don't even score it. But yeah, you just didn't have total control there. You let it get on top of your car. Where I would actually argue that you actually had good control on the sides, right? You were pushing it to the right. Now you're pushing it to the left. But the second you let it go on top of your car, that's where you don't have control.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Honestly, your first priority is to make sure that he's not just going to boom this back to your net. But I also think that in this scenario, you can actually afford to grab his boost and then go back around. Because you don't do that, you're trying to stay in the play for too long. And let's see here. And now you gave him boost and ball possession.
Yeah, that was bad. And that was risky.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, that was insane.
Yeah, I think I got pretty mad right there.
Holy.
I was like, this dude's getting so lucky, and then he's just rushing me in my own corners and getting goals, and
Right.
oh,
And
dude, I
look
was
at
so tilted.
compared to his, all he's doing is a single jump challenge and flipping into the ball. Like he's doing what he needs to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're braking again. That's twice that happened. See that? In literally the same exact spot almost. You literally have gone towards the ball, you're matching the play speed, and then you brake too much. Oh man, the goal is not over here. Like try to get on the goal line, please.
Okay.
Ooh, actually, okay, so again, that's where an air roll shot can come into play. You're actually pretty good here. You wait, again, now you're aiming towards the ball, which is better than before. You weren't even aiming at the ball before. You're aiming at the ball. Now you should use your front left tire and try to hit it, the ball, like right here. And you should be able to diagonal flip left, and this should basically be a really powerful shot into net.
Okay.
And let's look at that, how you did it. Again, you're using the front of your car, which is good, but because you're flipping left. Why would you flip left if the ball is literally in between you and the goal? You should be flipping through the ball to hit it forwards, not sideways.
Yeah.
So that's where your loss of power comes into play. That's why I always say those air roll shots with that little, using the tires. And hell, even a freaking front flip, just a regular front flip, just down the line would have been better than what you just did.
Okay.
There you go. All right, not bad. I think your front flip here is your flick. Like, I think you can actually afford to take off ball cam here and take this play a little slower. I know it looks like he probably challenged, but sometimes you actually you had control. So I think sometimes you have to get control first instead of just flicking the ball right away and getting rid of it. Good challenge there. I mean, honestly,
that was a fucking mistake right there, because for some reason I was like, all right, I'm gonna get his boost right here,
turn around and then get it.
Oh yeah, and then it fucking just banged right off the backboard and he caught it. I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, you had a really good challenge. But yeah, I mean, you have 100 boost. You have positional
I should have just put
advantage.
it in right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as I did it, it was a mistake. I was like, oh god. That's just the thing. Once I get tilted in ones, I feel like my decision making just goes out the window.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
This was horrible. Don't watch.
Actually, that's fine. I like the fact that you didn't flip. If you flipped, that would have been bad. Because now you're not committing. You're applying pressure still. Okay, this is perfect. I know it's bad. I know it's maybe cringy for you, but this is the perfect play for me to actually watch and show you what you should be doing better on. Okay, so this is actually almost a perfect scenario. So he's actually got the ball on your left side, and I'm going to draw like a line between, I guess, the ball and the goal. So see if I can do it a little bit better. So at any point, if you're shadowing, right, you're doing one of these. The idea is that, of course, you can turn and challenge at any point, right? It could be here. I mean, it could have been here, right? Just depending on the momentum. And it could also be going for a goal line save, parallel with the goal like this. But in all three of these scenarios, the idea is that you actually push it across the field, right? Even when I draw an arrow like this, I don't want you to challenge it like a kickoff where you're actually front flipping into it. I want you to try to treat it as a kickoff that you should be doing, like, flipping left or right and trying to push it diagonally or not diagonally, sideways, right? Because no matter what, he is an immovable object and you have to respect the fact that he's behind the ball. So if you try to turn and challenge this and literally try to push the ball forwards like this towards his net, you're not respecting the fact that he is an immovable object just as much as you are, especially with the fact that he's got momentum going towards your side. So do you think magically that you're going to be able to turn around, get more momentum than he has coming towards you, that you can push it past his car and win, right? That's a very selfish thing to think. So instead, what you should be doing is trying to, I accidentally erased my shit here. But in all these scenarios, whether you challenge early, you're not challenging at the play. You're trying to jump and cover the space that he's getting in the net and trying to hit it across the field. right? So
Okay.
in this scenario, I think what you did wrong here is that you turned and you went like this and you aimed back at the play too much. And that's why
Yeah.
you see it go past you on the far side.
So like right here, right when you're going down your own like sideline back towards your net, right?
Yep.
It's always a question of like, how much boost is he gonna have? Like I'm trying, like there I was just grabbing all the boost down that side so I could try to figure out like, okay, once he tries his play, he's not gonna have boost. He's gonna have to grab a corner probably.
Right.
What is the best play here? Like instead of, because I don't feel like the boost is a good idea. Like I feel like
You're
it's
right.
okay sometimes, but what's the better play to do here instead of that? Is it just stay closer back to him, like
Honestly,
when you're shadowing?
Honestly, yeah. Since he has the ball at this point right now, just specifically with this play, the ball is on the ground. So at this point, I would slow down, eliminate the space. Then if he gets the ball on his car, you have to respect that. So if he's got the ball in his car, you have to leave more space because he can flick it, right? He's got more potential to get the ball over you, right? So
Yeah.
if he continues and he's right here and you are right here, then that's where you might actually slow down, let him get ahead a little bit. That's where you would kind of meet it and try to push the ball sideways like this, right?
Okay.
So if he gets it up on top of his car and he's got like height here, then that's where you have to respect that and literally just go back and go for a goal line save. You have to trust in your defense, believe it or not. You have
Yeah.
to if you cannot shadow or fake challenge like this and go back and then go back to the goal, then you just have to keep your spacing accordingly and keep going back to net and go for a save. You just have to.
Because I feel like a lot of times here, like in the same situation, I've had it where it does this, and like I'm a little bit farther back towards him
Yeah.
in the situations, and I try to give like a little fake, and when I give the fake is about the time, like see there where he caught it on his car.
Yeah.
About that time is when I go to throw in the fake just to see if he'll throw it away, and usually just by that time, like I'm not turned in that much, but the
Right.
momentum loss of me turning in for like a short fake is like enough that when they throw the flick, like there's no way for me to save it.
Yeah. And again, that's where I talk about it's okay if the fact that he's pushing it on the ground, but now the fact that he's got it on his car, you're not respecting his potential to get it over. And again, with the combination that you're turning back and thinking you can actually get it over him and get a really good challenge here is really selfish. You're not
Yeah.
respecting him whatsoever here. So at that point, yes, I would literally just keep rotating back, and what I would do is just go for a save across field, because then you would want to push this ball back to your other corner. Then that's when you would grab boost, you would grab the ball, and then you would have a clean possession play, as Rainey calls it, and then you would be able to push forward.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very selfish to think that you can just turn and then immediately get a challenge. Even if it's on the ground, again, you're trying not to push it through him because it's way harder than it is. Think of all the times that you actually get a 50-50 where you can just plow through him. It doesn't happen very often, right? So
Yeah.
it's much easier to flip sideways into it and redirect it. Treat it as a kickoff, where you can redirect it where you want. That's how you get possession. And that's exactly what you did here. Both of these combinations of you turning and challenging and coming straight at it like this. Yeah, now you're aiming at the ball and you're not covering the net whatsoever. So any questions about that? Because I know we talked about that for a little while.
No, like that's mainly it's just like I feel like sometimes I chat like actual challenge when I should be faking.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes down to I think it's mainly where like I've always played ones to try to get better, but I'm like a twos main. So like
Yeah.
I guess my mentality comes from the fact of like always being I'm always a dude who like, if you're first man, your dude's already back at the goal, your teammate's already back at the goal, like try to force a challenge to make him throw it away
Yep.
as quick as possible. And like I feel like maybe that mentality sticks with me a little bit in ones.
Sure. Okay, I can see that. I wanted to bring up a scenario that might help you a little bit. So, in the case where you're shadowing on the same side, it might not. It's more dangerous, right? Because as you're shadowing on the right side here, it's actually dangerous for you to turn and challenge because then if he flicks it, then you have to turn back, right? Again, and you're crossing this line where now, again, if he shoots it top right, you not only have to turn back around, but you have to turn around again just to get a top corner save like this, right? So
Yeah.
it's super awkward. You're making it twice as hard as it needs to be. So in the case where you're challenging on the same side, you can fake challenge, and if you think you have enough time to go back and make another parallel save and keep the net in front of you, this would be the ideal scenario, right? Where you would not cross this line unless you go for a challenge and push it across field. And even if you do fake challenge, you go back in, and actually this would be more like this. I think you get the idea. In both scenarios, you keep the net in front of you, right? You're not challenging, you're not turning like this at them. You do save that shit for 2s and 3s when you can actually afford to fake challenge like that or challenge like that.
Okay.
But even your fake challenges should be sideways. It should never be at him, because then you're full committing your positional. Then it's really hard for you to turn around and make another save. So see how I drew this? You're going sideways and you're crossing this line. Then you actually turn back around again. So hopefully that makes sense there as far as like when to fake challenge and when not to. So even when you do fake challenge, you should not be turning back around like this, because then it's just significantly harder.
Yeah, you're losing too much momentum.
Yep, you should be doing one of these.
Okay.
Oh, close on the demo. Yeah, just rushing it, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
On the wrong side of the ball. First part is obviously
tilted by this point.
yeah, first part is just getting on the right side of the ball, and yeah, you're here. So you shooting this, kind of sideways is a little awkward. Whereas, yeah, if you come down the wall and come in straight ahead, this is a much easier shot for sure. But I understand that you're tilted, but hopefully you can recognize, like, yeah, you being on the wrong side of this initially is even just inherently bad, because now you're shooting, you're aiming this way, but you want to shoot this way. It's like, why? Just make it a forward, just direct shot. It could be so much easier.
When I came down off that wall, I had so much momentum there that I knew that if I didn't jump for it right then, I would miss the ball.
Yep, and the difference here is because you actually boosted down this wall right here, right? Bad color for yellow, but but yeah. So you actually did really well on. I would actually power slide to turn your angle down quicker. Then I wouldn't even boost. I would boost down like this, but then stop boosting on the corner, because if you boost through the turn like this, that's how you get screwed up and you go too far forward. If you boost down the wall straight, that's when you boost. You stop boosting on the corner, then boost again this way to get an explosive shot forward.
Okay,
It's a better use of your boost, I think. If there's anything else that I can offer there, that'd probably be better.
Okay,
it's the fact that you're boosting through the corner, that's what screws you up and you go too far. You boost down, wait a little bit.
Yeah, because I definitely had way too much speed on that when I got to the ball. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you boost straight down, stop boosting on the corner, then boost again going forward, and then that's how you get that explosive power, those better shots.
Okay. I don't know what I wanted to do there. I think I was thinking about a chip shot, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna dribble it, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm just
it's very nitpicky because now at this point, right now, I just inherently know, okay, you have to start boosting now to get this on top of your car now to get it over him. But because you don't, you can't get it on top of your car. You're boosting too late. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah, man. Again, you're boosting. I like your challenge here. But at this point, you have to realize he's going to go for this again. You boosting all this way now, you went from 55 to 30. And now look how close, again, you're pushed up. You're diving at this and fake challenging. So now if you wanted to turn around, you not only wasted 20 boosts, but now you only have 30 to get back.
Yeah.
Right? So cut your losses, let him hit the ball. And even if you did want a fake challenge, just drive upwards. Just drive. Indicate that you're still going to fake challenge. Then use your 50 boost and go over the, do one of these. You can use your 50 boost much better going backwards than trying to stay in the play going forwards, because now you have like 30. You basically have none to go back. Does that make sense? Again, better use of your boost usage there.
Yeah. Because I definitely feel like the guys that I lose to are always these same type of guys that just constantly rush my corners, and it's like I keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah. I think honestly here you can actually go down the wall. I would actually turn upwards and clear this out. If you hit the underside of the ball, you can actually clear this out much easier. Like that.
Okay.
But because you don't, you kind of went straight and you just hit it kind of across Again, you only have 16 boosts. There's only so much you can do, but I think if you clear it out, you're more likely to give yourself like more relief that way. Because now you hit it like here, I bet, instead, like out across the field rather than out like towards midfield. See, you're basically just giving it back to him again, and you're in the same exact spot that you just left in.
And just getting more tilted.
Yeah.
Now he's got the boost. Yeah.
And again, clearing it out, front flipping. If anything, if you want to fucking hit this ball, I get it. You want to clear yourself out. You've been in a sticky situation for a while. Again, get on the left side of the ball. You have this tendency to be on the wrong side, aiming towards the wall. Remember this situation in the corner? Remember the midfield shot that you hit on the bank, on the other side, like on the right side, right? You're on the wrong side of the ball again. You should be turning like this, getting on the left side as much as you can. You should be turning like this, and then use your front right corner, again, hitting this side of the ball down this way. Because then that way, what would happen is this would be a clear to his back corner. That would be a lot better than just banging it off the midfield where he can then turn around and get it right away.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of drawing and shit now, but since you're front flipping again, you're aiming at the wall. He's basically just going to be able to get possession again. And instead of you air roll a little bit to the left, use your front right tire, again, hit the side of the ball and drive your car through the ball. If you need to fucking clear the ball, you better do it right, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ooh. Honestly, yeah. He hit the ball, but you're taking ball cam off here. If you kept ball cam on as you turn, you would know that you'd have pressure and you wouldn't be this far back. Now look at, you just gave up ball possession again when you didn't need to.
Yeah,
now you're in a sticky situation. And again, it's not the fact that you make bad decisions all the time. It's the fact that you don't have the information to work off of. Remember the situation when you went for the ball and he like went for a challenge right here and your camera was looking up? Again, it's not that you have bad decisions, or like when you went for a challenge, right? And you didn't know if he was going to push. Then you went for a 50-50, that kind of shit. It's not that you always make bad decisions. In fact, most people make pretty decent decisions. It's just that you're not helping yourself. You turn ball cam off. Now you have no fucking clue that he's pushing that right away. Now you have way too much distance because you backed off when you shouldn't have earlier.
I think it could have been a bad decision there, because if I remember back to last night, I think is where you, like you said, I cleared it out because I was in a sticky situation.
Yeah.
I came across and I was trying to make sure that I was getting that mid boost because I did not want to have to shadow a 0 boost.
Right.
And so when I turned the cam off, it's like
you're
you said, like
the
I
boost.
Boost over ball.
Yeah.
And it seems like when I get tilted,
it just keeps,
my flicks are shit.
It's a downward spiral. Honestly, as dangerous it is, dude, you're dribbling, again, the same situation. You're dribbling at him and you try to flick early because now if he tries to push in here, you have no idea where he's at. So you're forced to almost flick early. It's the same
I think
exact
my problem
situation
there is I'm always catching it like
on the top, on the front of your car.
On the top, on the front.
It's bouncing a lot here. Yeah, you don't have total control. We'll talk about that at the end. We'll go over that a little bit. But yeah, you should be catching this on the side of your car like this. You should be turning into this on the right side. So you should be hitting this with like the front right of your car, like right here.
And letting it roll off to my right.
In fact, actually, no. In fact, it actually should be like right here. You should be actually turning almost into this, like right here. And this should actually allow the ball to like roll on your car center like this. It should be a very controlled catch where the ball has downward momentum, then you just instantly kill it and stick to your car. So I'll demonstrate that at the end of this.
Okay, because I did not know that.
Yeah. So you should be pushing this, and what that does is it pushes it to the right, because we're catching it on the right side and we're leaning into this going that way. Then it's also going to give you space, and now you're dribbling at an angle where then you can actually see your opponent the whole time. So that does multiple things. You're setting yourself up for success that way. Whereas now, this has now been 2 or 3 times where you're dribbling straight at him and you have no idea if he's turning and challenging you. So you're forced to flick early. And again, because you got that bad catch right from the beginning, you don't have control. You have all this space where it's bouncing. Now you try to go for a catch or a flick, and it's bad, right?
Okay, because that's where I get frustrated at with like the whole training routine that we've had. Like for ones like it's like I do those type of catches, which I now realize are like it's the bad catches that are setting.
Yeah,
they're not setting me up for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And like they're like take the ball down the right, away from your opponent, across the field at an
Yep.
angle, and it's like I get so frustrated with that because I try to implement it and I'm catching it and I'm just dribbling it right towards him like every time. I'm like, oh my god, dude, it's making
Yeah.
me want to claw my eyes out.
Yeah, I can see. I can imagine, bro. If I was in the same spot, I'd be like, all right, fuck this game.
Yeah, dude, it
I
makes
get
me
it.
hate ones.
Yeah, I get it. There you go. Okay, power slide, jump. Ooh. Okay,
Oh,
you're close. Actually, again, in a similar situation, to when you were going down the wall here, I would actually use like power slide a little bit through this turn. It's actually gonna help you turning just a little bit quicker. Again, that way you'd be facing this way, right? Instead of going
okay.
around wide. I don't know how to fucking draw this on an angle. But yeah, you turning like this, right? Because now again you're kind of facing the net, but like I think if you just power slide, this could be so much simpler.
Is there a way you can like train power slides into your um into your dribbles and and things like that? Because like I feel like when I'm doing certain turns, like I'm just
Hmm.
shit with drift.
Right.
Um, I feel like if I use it just for a split second, I'm all right. But the second I start trying to do like any controlled turns with it,
Yeah.
like I'm just using it too much, and then I'm kind of like spinning out.
Right. Okay, before I get to that, that's actually a really good question. I don't think I've ever actually covered before, so I may have to kind of either pull some tricks out of my hat or something like that, or I may have to get back to you on that one.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
honestly, this is really just comes down to being patient, and again, your mind is elsewhere, so like, this is
Yeah, dude,
just
I
straight
was.
front flip.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck you, dude. I'm going for a challenge.
Oh, dude,
I love
yeah,
it.
dude, I was so mad, bro. I
I
was
love it.
so mad.
Yep, that's where the power
Like,
slide
see,
comes
I'm
in.
just,
Yeah,
yeah,
your
I'm
game
just,
is just done, bro.
yeah.
I
I'm like,
get you.
fuck this. I'm out. I
All
got
right.
forfeit right here.
Yeah,
I'm done.
not much to talk about for that. Let's go into even the ultimate warm up is a good example because it just throws the ball at you. This is a little extreme, but you see how I have it on the right side of my car. See how I'm like pushing it to like the middle and I'm pushing it across. You really want to aim with the corner. So in this instance, I'm gonna push it to the right. I can just instantly get control.
Okay, okay.
So honestly, really just using the corners of your car, I think would just be a general like overall really good thing. Like that was a good example right there. Hitting
Yeah,
that
you
front
instantly
left.
killed that.
Yep, hitting the front left, and I'm kind of see how I turn into it, and I'm almost got my front half in the circle. I turn into it just a little bit, but it's nothing too crazy. Like that's a really good example. I think I'm getting the hang of it now. So I'm almost like obviously coming from the side, but like, yeah, really just using the very corners of the car as actually. Let me kind of go over it real quick. So my speed flip is something like that, and what I do is I jump and tilt back, right? So it'll actually this does multiple things. So this actually does my correction, right? So like, if I go in a straight line and I diagonal flip, right, I'm going to be off course from where I want to go, which is straight, right? So instead, what I do is I jump back to the right, then I do my diagonal flip to the left. And again, I use the corner of my car to be my guide of like knowing where
Dude,
to flip.
I like that so much more because the turning I feel like is what screws me up.
Yep. Yeah, most people like they turn to the right, then they flip left. It's like, why are you going off course at any point? Why? Like that's not conducive to a speed flip, trying to be as fast as possible. So like what the hell is the point of driving away from where you want to go? Right? So in full, oops, if I can fucking not fat thumb my jump button, you can stay pretty straight. Like that. Right? Down the line. So, what I do is I jump and tilt back, and what that does is a small correction in the air, and it does it in place. Then I do my front left diagonal flip, front to the left, and I basically can stay forward. Then at that point, instead of letting my car turn over, I cancel it down. So I go down right, up left, then down right again.
Yeah, I can get the cancel. It's just, do you think the jumping like you do you think that's, uh, That's a good strategy if you're doing your diagonal flip with arrow left.
Yes. So I actually use arrow left. So that's my square. It actually is my back left paddle. I don't actually press square. So
Oh
I'll
yeah,
show
me
you.
too.
I'll show you what it looks like without arrow whatsoever. See how it's a little awkward? I can still stay on the path, but I'm landing on my right two wheels like this. So the only thing that I'm doing now is after my left flip, I'm holding air roll to land on all four wheels.
Now, once you do your flip cancel, it looks like you're pulling a little bit to the left.
Yep. So I almost do like a half circle motion, like down like this.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you why. It's somewhat instinctual, if anything. I know like sometimes if I go down to the right, yeah. See, that's I think where if you're holding down to the right again, that's where your car is turning back into the right. So I think that's why I cancel my flip down into the right, and then I always do like a half circle motion down to the left. Again, pulling your car to the left. I think I do that as I air roll and as my car turns over. So I cancel it down to the right, then as I hold air roll left, I also pull down left on the stick. You can see that I do that there, like in a half circle motion, almost. If you just pay attention to my stick for just a second. Yeah. As I use air roll, I hold down left. How that works.
Yeah, I've done it with the speed kick, like the plug-in too, and just filled with cades.
Ooh. There we go.